A solitary walk, a sudden strike, a life taken. Bondi Beach, a place of beauty and relaxation. Yet beneath the warmth of the Australian sun, a chilling shadow loomed. In the quiet town of Toowoomba, Queensland, a father's apology echoes with sorrow and regret. Andrew Kochi, tears streaming down his face, struggles to come to terms with the horrific actions of his son, a man he would describe as a tormented soul. On a fateful Saturday afternoon, the Bondi Junction, Westfield, a bustling hub of life, was turned into a scene of mayhem and horror. Joel Kochi, a 40-year-old man, living a peculiar lifestyle, effectively homeless and unemployed. At an early age, Kochi was diagnosed with mental health issues, like schizophrenia. Joel's parents took note that he had not been consistent with his medication. In January of 2023, Joel Kochi became fascinated with knives, beginning with a collection of 6, causing a quarrel between him and his father, reporting him to the police for trying to confiscate his treasured collection of weapons. Joel had been on the Queensland police radar for some time now, the last physical interaction being a street check in December 2023. But his digital footprints would reveal the true darkness of his character. A week before Joel's rampage, he was shown to be advertising himself as a male escort on social media. He also posted in the Bondi community Facebook page looking for a surfing partner, seemingly harmless web interactions, until a deeper dive into Joel's search history revealed the monster within. April 14th, 2024, 40 minutes of horror. Screams echoed through the junction. 7 souls, lost forever. Joel Kochi entered Westfield Bondi Junction at 3:10 in the afternoon, only to leave and abruptly return 10 minutes later, with a 12-inch knife in hand. Those lucky enough to witness the event and escape unscathed reported the terrifying events that unfolded. Their testimony coincided with the horror show captured on the security cameras. Erratic movements, lunging at groups, while ignoring others. Some shoppers creating a blockade to restrict his pathway. Cell phone footage caught the heroic act of Damien Garrow swinging a bollard at him to prevent Joel from climbing the escalator. The building was evacuated as soon as possible. 40 ambulance services were dispatched to the scene. Police surrounded the building. Directed by Damien Garrow, Officer Amy Scott confronted Joel Kochi. However, Joel was in no mood to listen to Amy, gripping the handle of his precious tool. One last deep breath, one last step into the abyss. Joel lunged at Amy, hatred in his eyes, the blade thirsty for another victim. The sound echoed through the venue, alerting more shoppers to the terror nearby. The last remaining witnesses found the closest exit. Store owners in a compromising location quickly locked their doors, guarding customers from the windows and taking refuge where they could. Amy evaded the blade and delivered a round into the chest of Joel Kochi. Despite the attack on her life, Amy began CPR immediately on Joel. 5 lives were lost at the scene, 12 injured and hospitalized, including a 9-month-old girl and her mother, who would later succumb to her injuries and raise the death toll to 6 victims. All 6 victims were adults, 5 women and 1 man. Joel Kochi would not see a trial, nor would he have the breath to explain his actions for that day. The bullet Amy Scott had delivered to his chest left a fatal wound, ensuring an end to Joel's life. As the incident remains under intense police scrutiny, awaiting a coronial inquest, the community is left grappling with unanswered questions. Michelle Kochi, Joel's mother, tells of a loving childhood and a battle with mental illness. For 18 years, Joel was under the care of doctors until one day he vanished into the shadows of his own mind. Joel had friends, he had support, and he even pursued a degree. Yet, the demons of his illness whispered louder than the voices of those who cared. Joel's mother fought through the flood of tears, stating, "This is a parent's absolute nightmare. My heart goes out to the people my son has hurt." The revelation struck Andrew and Michelle as they watched the events unfold on social media and television. They recognized their son in the chaos, tipping off the police to his identity in a tragic admission. "My wife said this looks like Joel," Andrew exclaimed as he painfully remembered that day, the memory haunting him as he waited through the night for confirmation. Andrew, with a heart torn between a father's love and civic duty, expressed no ill will towards Amy Scott, acknowledging the grim necessity of her actions. Andrew knew his son's descent into darkness was marked by his obsession with knives, desperately trying to remove them from their home. But Joel was driven, crossing state borders to harm himself once more. His motives shrouded in mystery and fear. Through watery eyes, Andrew laments, "I wish I knew what was in his bloody head." Upon further investigation into Joel's digital footprint, his search history was darker than the deeds he had committed, leaving no doubt in investigators' minds that Joel had in fact become deeply obsessed with knives and the acts of violence. Given Joel's state of mind, if he was still with us today, who knows how well he could articulate his deep-seated cravings for violence. The community mourns, the nation grapples with the shock, families wrestle with knowing their loved ones are never coming home, and a family is shattered by the actions of one of their own. The Bondi beach killer, Joe Cocci. In the shadow of tragedy, we are reminded that behind every heinous act lies a story of pain, a family's sorrow, and a society's reflection on the fragile state of mental health. To the families of the lost, Shung-Yik Swan, Pikriya Dakya, Ashley Good, Don Singleton, Faraz Ahmed Tahir, and Jade Young, may their legacy and memories live on through the hearts of those whose lives they blessed. And as for the Kochi family, who suffered a great loss of their own, hopelessly lost and left to wonder, what could we have done differently? Was there any way of preventing this? Why couldn't he talk to us? How could we have helped him to see that such violence is never the answer? If you or someone you know is suffering from depression, a crisis, or other mental health issues, please seek help immediately.